Welcome to Hindu Holly Books. Welcome. Leave the noise of the modern world behind and journey into the ancient legends of Prince Rama. Let this timeless story of divine weapons, sacred rivers, and cosmic battles bring wonder and peace to your day. Chapter: Slaying of Tadaka. At dawn, after completing their ablutions and prayers, Rama and Lakshmana proceeded with Sage Vishwamitra to the riverbank. A forest-dwelling sage, upon seeing Vishwamitra accompanied by two gentle princes, brought a small and beautiful boat and requested the sage to cross the river with the princes. Vishwamitra thanked him and boarded the boat with Rama and Lakshmana. Thus they crossed the swiftly flowing river, eager to merge with the ocean. On the opposite bank lay a terrifying forest. Seeing it, Rama said, "Revered teacher, this forest appears extremely dreadful. The roars of lions and tigers, the trumpeting of elephants, and the movements of wild boars, bears, and forest buffaloes can be heard from all directions. Due to the dense trees, even sunlight dares not enter, and darkness prevails everywhere. What is the name of this formidable forest?" Sage Vishwamitra replied, "O Raghava, in ancient times this place was not a forest. Two prosperous kingdoms named Malada and Karupa once stood here, adorned with tall mansions, beautiful streets, and abundant wealth. Merchants from distant lands came here for trade. However, a Yaksha woman named Tadaka destroyed both kingdoms." The sage further explained, "Tadaka is no ordinary woman. She is the wife of the demon Sunda and the mother of Maricha. She possesses the strength of 1,000 elephants and is extremely powerful. After destroying this region, Tadaka and her son Maricha devoured all its inhabitants. Out of fear, no human shadow is seen within miles, and whoever enters this land never returns alive. I have brought you here to slay Tadaka." Rama asked in wonder, "Revered teacher, women are usually gentle and delicate. How did Tadaka obtain the strength of 1,000 elephants?" Vishwamitra replied that Tadaka was born to the mighty Yaksha Sukatu, who had performed severe penance to Lord Brahma to obtain a child. Pleased, Brahma granted him a daughter and endowed her with immense strength. Tadaka was later married to the demon Sunda, and Maricha was born to them. Due to Maricha's misdeeds, Sage Agastya cursed him to become a demon, and when Sunda attacked the sage in anger, he was reduced to ashes. Seeking revenge, Tadaka attacked Sage Agastya, who then cursed her beauty to be destroyed, making her hideous. Consumed by rage and vengeance, she terrorized this land. Sage Vishwamitra commanded, "O Rama, you alone can destroy this great evil. Do not hesitate thinking she is a woman. In her form, she is a grave sin, and destroying sin is not sinful. Cast aside all doubt and slay this demoness by my command." Rama replied, "Revered teacher, I shall obey your command. For the welfare of all beings, I will surely slay Tadaka." Saying this, he fixed an arrow to his bow and drew the string to his ear, releasing a thunderous twang that echoed throughout the forest. Enraged, Tadaka charged toward Rama with terrifying speed. Rama swiftly released sharp arrows that pierced her heart. Crying out in agony, she fell to the ground and her life departed. Sage Vishwamitra rejoiced at Rama's valor and blessed him abundantly. By the Guru's command, they spent the night there. At dawn, they observed that with Tadaka's terror gone, the forest had regained its natural beauty. After completing their prayers, they proceeded toward Sage Vishwamitra's hermitage. Chapter: Bestowal of Rare Divine Weapons. On the way, they came upon a beautiful lake. Stopping at its banks, Sage Vishwamitra said, "O Rama, by slaying Tadaka you have performed a great act for the welfare of humanity. I am immensely pleased with your valor, skill, and wisdom. Today I shall bestow upon you certain rare and divine weapons, by whose power you will be able to defeat even the most formidable gods, demons, yakshas, nagas, and others." He continued, These are the weapons known as Danda Chakra, Dharma Chakra, Kala Chakra, and Indra Chakra. Once you possess them, no enemy will be able to withstand you. In addition to these, I grant you the lightning-forged Vajra weapon, Lord Shiva's trident, Brahmashira, Eshika, and the supremely powerful Brahmastra, which surpasses all other weapons. With these weapons, Vishwamitra said, you will become the most powerful being across the three worlds. I am so delighted by your heroism that I joyfully present to you the mighty maces named Prachanda Madaki and Shikara. I also bestow upon you weapons both dry and moist in nature, the Pinaka bow, Naryanastra, Agnayastra, Vayavyastra, Hayashirsha Astra, and Krancha Astra. Along with these, he continued, I grant you divine nooses such as Dharmapasha, Kalapasha, and Varanapasha, by which even the swiftest enemy can be bound and rendered powerless. Some weapons are used by the Asuras, and wisdom teaches that enemies should be defeated with their own arms. Therefore, I also give you the Asura weapons known as Kinkala, Musala, Gorakapala, and Kinkini. There are also weapons employed by the Vidyadharas, among them Khadga, Mohana, Prasvapana, Prashamana, Samya, Varshana, Santapana, Vilapana, Madanastra, Gandharvastra, Manavastra, Peshachastra, Tamasa, and the unique Samanastra. I further grant you the Mausalastra, Satyastra, the illusory weapons of the Asuras, and the Prabhastra of the sun god, whose mere display renders enemies powerless. Now behold these special weapons, Vishwamitra said. These are the Shashira and Daruna weapons used by the moon god. Shashira freezes enemies with intense cold, while Daruna overwhelms them with unbearable heat. O best among warriors, accept these incomparable weapons that crush enemy pride and fulfill all righteous desires. Having spoken thus, the great sage affectionately bestowed upon Rama all these divine weapons, rare even among the gods. Rama received them with immense joy, bowed at his guru's feet, and said, Revered teacher, by your grace I am truly fulfilled. Now no god, demon, rakshasa, yaksha, or any being can defeat me. Yet, O sage, such weapons may also be used against me by others. Kindly teach me how to counter enemy weapons, and how to recall my own weapons after their task is complete. Pleased, Vishwamitra taught Rama additional divine weapons, Satyavan, Satyakiyati, Pratihara, Paranmukha, Avanmukha, Lakshya, and Upalakshya, which destroy enemy weapons mid-course. He also instructed Rama in the sacred methods, by which released weapons return to their wielder. Continuing onward, they emerged from the forest darkness into a region illuminated by the divine radiance of the sun. Before them appeared beautiful trees, charming valleys, and enchanting scenery. Seeing this, Ramachandra asked Sage Vishwamitra, O revered one, beyond those lush green rows of trees in the mountain valleys, it appears there is an ashram. Is this truly so, or is it merely my imagination? The presence of melodious birds suggests it is indeed real. Chapter, Sage Vishwamitra's Hermitage. As they advanced, they reached a place bathed in the divine brilliance of the sun, adorned with beautiful trees, pleasant valleys, and captivating views. Rama asked, O sage, the lovely green rows of trees in the mountain valleys ahead appear to conceal an ashram. Is this truly so, or merely my imagination? Sage Vishwamitra replied, O child, this is indeed an ashram known as Siddhashrama. Hearing this, Lakshmana asked, Revered teacher, why is it called Siddhashrama? Vishwamitra explained, In ancient times there lived a mighty demon named Bali, who had conquered all the gods. Once, Bali performed a great yajna here, which would have further increased his power. Alarmed, Indra approached Lord Vishnu along with the other gods and prayed for protection, fearing that Bali would claim the throne of heaven if the sacrifice were completed. Lord Vishnu assured the gods and soon assumed the form of Vamana, a dwarf Brahmin. He arrived at the site of Bali's yajna, where Bali welcomed him with reverence and offered to fulfill his wish. Vamana asked for only 2.5 steps of land to sit and worship. Bali gladly granted the request. At once, Lord Vishnu expanded into his cosmic form. With one step, he covered the entire heavens, with the second, the earth and the netherworld. He then asked Bali where to place the remaining half-step. True to his generosity, Bali offered his own body. Thus, Vishnu placed his foot upon Bali, measuring him completely. Pleased with Bali's unparalleled charity, Lord Vishnu granted him a boon that this land would remain eternally sacred, be known as Siddhashrama, and grant swift spiritual attainment to all who perform penance here. Since then, many sages have attained liberation at this place. My own ashram stands here, and I wish to complete my yajna without obstruction. Whenever I began the sacrifice, demons disrupted it. Now that you have arrived, I can complete it without fear. Saying this, Vishwamitra entered his ashram with Rama and Lakshmana. The resident sages and disciples welcomed them warmly. Rama humbly said, "Revered sage, please begin the yajna today itself. I assure you that I shall protect it and free this sacred land from demons." Hearing Rama's words, Sage Vishwamitra began gathering the materials required for the yajna. Chapter: Slaying of Maricha and Subahu. The next day, rising at the sacred hour of Brahma Muhurta and completing their daily rituals and prayers, Rama and Lakshmana approached Sage Vishwamitra and said, "Revered teacher, kindly tell us at what time the demons usually come to disrupt the yajna. We wish to know this so that they may not arrive unexpectedly and cause disturbance." Hearing the enthusiastic words of the valiant sons of Dasharatha, all the sages present were greatly pleased and said, "O jewels of the Raghu dynasty, from today onward, you must remain fully alert and vigilant for 6 days and 6 nights to protect the yajna. During these 6 days, Sage Vishwamitra will observe silence while performing the sacrifice. Having taken the vow of yajna, he will not respond to any questions during this period." Upon receiving this instruction, Rama and Lakshmana armed themselves with all their weapons and stood ready to guard the yajna. For 5 days and 5 nights, they remained constantly alert without rest, yet no disturbance occurred. On the 6th day, Rama said to Lakshmana, "Brother Saumitra, today is the final day of the yajna, and it is highly likely that the demons will attempt to disrupt it. We must be especially cautious today, for even the slightest negligence could render the sage's sacrifice and our efforts futile." As Rama was cautioning Lakshmana, the sacrificial offerings, ladles, and firewood suddenly flared up on their own. Thunderous sounds echoed from the sky, as if clouds were roaring and hundreds of lightning bolts were flashing. Soon after, Maricha and Subahu appeared with their demonic army, showering blood, flesh, marrow, and bones upon the sacrificial altar. Seeing this, Rama fixed his gaze upon the troublemakers and said to Lakshmana, "Be ready with your bow. I shall immediately destroy this sinful army using the Manavastra." With extraordinary speed and skill, Rama released the Manavastra. It struck Maricha in the chest with hurricane force and hurled him 100 yajanas, nearly 400 kosas, into the ocean. Thereafter, Rama hurled the Agnayastra into the sky, from which a terrifying blaze erupted and engulfed Subahu, reducing him to ashes in an instant. When his burning body fell to the ground, a tremendous crash echoed, causing many trees to collapse. Rama then released the Vayavastra to annihilate the remaining demons. Struck by this weapon, the demonic warriors fell to the earth like hailstones, and within moments the entire demonic army was destroyed. Cries of victory filled the air, and flowers showered down from the heavens. After completing the yajna without obstruction, Sage Vishwamitra rose from the altar, embraced Rama, and said, "O lotus of the Raghu dynasty, by the strength of your arms and your mastery in battle, my yajna has been successfully completed. By destroying these demons, you have truly sanctified Siddhashrama." Sage Vishwamitra explained, "O Rama, Janaka is the royal title of the kings of Mithila, passed down through generations." The following day, after completing their daily rituals and prayers, Rama and Lakshmana approached their guru to offer their respects. From the ascetics residing in the Hermitage, they learned that King Janaka of Mithila had organized a grand bow sacrifice, to which kings from various lands were arriving to participate. Rama asked Sage Vishwamitra, revered teacher, what is special about this bow, and for what purpose is this sacrifice being held? Vishwamitra replied, O Rama, Janaka is the hereditary title of the rulers of Mithila. In ancient times, an ancestor named Devarata performed a great yajna with deep devotion, inviting even the gods. Pleased with him, the gods bestowed upon him the divine bow known as Pinaka. This bow is magnificent, majestic, extremely heavy, and immensely powerful. Even the strongest and most valiant warriors cannot lift it, let alone string it. King Janaka has vowed that whoever is able to string this bow shall be worthy of marrying his only daughter, the beautiful and virtuous Sita. Thus, kings and princes from many lands are arriving in large numbers to take part in this sacrifice. We too wish to witness this yajna, so you should accompany us to Mithila. Seeing it will bring you great joy. Chapter: Departure for the Bow Sacrifice. Following the sage's command, Rama and Lakshmana set out with Vishwamitra and other sages toward Mithila. Along the way, they observed various scenic sights and engaged in spiritual discussions. In this manner, they reached the banks of the river Shona. Vishwamitra, the sages, and the princes bathed in its cool waters, and then spent time in prayer and religious discourse. With nightfall, they rested there by the Guru's command. At dawn, after completing their daily rites, the group continued onward and reached the sacred banks of the Ganga. It was midday, and the sun stood high in the sky, making the view of the river exceedingly enchanting. Countless reflections of the sun shimmered upon the playful waves. Curious fish swam joyfully in the waters, while birds such as cranes and swans filled the air with their sweet calls. Golden grains of sand spread far and wide, and the beauty of the trees along the banks was captivating. Rama gazed at this scene with unwavering attention. Noticing this, Vishwamitra asked, "My child, what are you observing so intently?" Rama replied, "Revered teacher, I am beholding the wondrous beauty of the sacred Ganga. Merely seeing this holy river fills my heart with profound peace. O Lord, I wish to hear from your divine lips how this purifying river Ganga came into existence." Hearing Rama's question, Sage Vishwamitra said, "O Rama, the story of the Ganga, who removes all suffering and impurities, is most fascinating. I shall narrate it to you all." Thus, Vishwamitra began the tale. The king of mountains, Himalaya, had two exceptionally beautiful and virtuous daughters, born of Maina, the daughter of Mount Sumeru. The elder daughter was named Ganga, and the younger was Uma. Ganga was extraordinarily powerful and endowed with divine qualities, following her own free course without restraint. For the welfare of the world, the gods took her to the celestial realms. Uma, the younger daughter, performed intense austerities and attained Lord Shiva as her consort. At this point, Rama asked, "O revered one, when the gods took Ganga to the heavens, how did she later descend to the earth, and why is she called Tripathaga?" Replying, Sage Vishwamitra said, "While moving through the celestial realms, Ganga met Uma and expressed her desire to descend to her motherland, the earth. Uma assured Ganga that she would make the necessary arrangements." Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more Odd that concludes the legendary battle of Siddhashrama and the descent of Ganga. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss King Janaka's grand bow sacrifice in the next episode. See you in the next video, audiobook like this one.